There we go. Now I have you in chat on IRC.
Oh, look at you, fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting out here doing everything.
I'm doing this so I can see stuff without,
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Now, what's good, everybody? Welcome. It is Thursday, October. See, I even got the month right this time. October 8th, 2020, and it is time for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. I'm your host, Major Linux. I am joined this week and every week by KKS Gaming.
And Megan the Stallion.
That's right.
Right.
Megan the Stallion.
With two E's.
Two E's. The proper way. I might even include that in the show notes. I'm just so happy about that.
Just get like a picture of Meg right there.
She's going to be in the thumbnails, like Megan the Stallion. Nothing to do with tech at all. Just a picture of Megan the Stallion as a thumbnail.
Nice. I'll snap that.
Yes, I'm joined this week by KKS Gaming.
Hey.
Also, because I am in a great mood, I feel so good that I'm getting names correctly. I'm joined this week by Cinziak.
Oh.
For the first time. Cinziak is gone. It's Cinziak today.
Yep. And common praise. Not only is Major vindicated, also Sin is vindicated. He finally put some respect on his name.
Respect on it. Oh, gentlemen, how are y'all doing this week? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. I got a new cup.
Oh,
new
look
cup.
at you. It's fancy.
New cup.
So,
yes.
unexpectedly productive. Today was unexpectedly productive.
Right.
Like today was a day where I was just like, my brother was going to come over. We were going to get a little snack, a little chicken tendy action or whatever. And he's just like, well, I'm like, okay, well, we'll go and get some chicken tenders or whatever. And I might go by the store. And then he goes, I have a stop I need to make somewhere. Do you mind if we go to UPS? And UPS is the place that processes Amazon returns. So I've had this thing sitting. Well, it was here. It is no longer here. I had a thing that I had to return to Amazon because it was a cable and the cable was too short. And I was kind of like, okay, well, I need to plan to do that sometime next week. And he's just like, well, we're going to the exact place you have to return it. So, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll go get that. And wasn't I supposed to send Kevin the thing? And Kevin was like, hey, have you sent the thing today? And I was like, I might be able to get out there next week, but also UPS. So that got sent today.
Mm-hmm.
All the packages got sent today, all the groceries got done today and everything else. And I'm like, okay, we're making headway with things.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
Yes. Name.
I just want to point out here, we are going to adopt a new phrase today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hit you up with that phrase later, but we're gonna
I love that tease. We got a new phrase. We'll get to that later.
I'm ready for it.
You should don't tell us. Let us see if we can spot it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Like it's gonna be a thing that I'm going to actually say.
Okay.
All right. So yes, THC. Yes, names and months correctly. Not only that, but the audio is working for the first time, straight off the rip. Unless somebody's not telling me something that yeah. Hope everything's good. Looks good for me. I don't know, but then again, everything's always looked good for me at the jump.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this week's tech stories we're gonna do a full teardown, and that's my tease for something that we're gonna talk about a little bit later. Wait, so don't hate me, but I definitely was like, where's Major on the Seattle Discord? Isn't he a mod? Sorry. Excited to catch the Thursday Tech Talk. Oh, glad to have you once o'clock wash out. Thank you for joining. So let's say we get into some of this tech talk. It is Thursday. First off, I want to start with the GTX RTX 3070. NVIDIA has seen the troubles that have come with the 3080 and the 3090 Also, apparently the crashing that was happening with overclocking the 3080, and they were like, miss me with that bullshit with the 3070.
Mm-hmm. The thing that actually is gonna make money.
Right. So, of course, if you're not familiar with the 3070, this is the card that they are releasing that has the same power as the, what was it, $1,200 2070 or 2080 Ti, the super card from before, and they're selling it for what, 500? I think it's $500 or 400.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yep, I think it's $500.
So yeah, they were like, they've seen the supply chain issues, and they're like, yeah, let's hold off on that.
You know, why are we still acting brand new? We are in October. This is literally month 6 we are on.
Right.
Everything has been slow. Y'all didn't see back in March when the delivery time jumped from 2 weeks to June? Hello?
Yes. Woo. What you say?
I just found out a mask that I ordered last month is on schedule to be delivered in November.
Lord knows when I'm gonna get my Pixel. It's like my Pixel and the iPad.
I would be under a spotlight going, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I just don't.
Yeah. See, like, I feel like I wonder if this is also in response to, like, the reports coming out that the RTX 3080s were crashing because they were being overworked. So they're trying to figure that part out too. But yeah, also there have been rumors saying that NVIDIA delayed the launch to take a big steamy dump on AMD when they announced the big Navi cards. I think that's happening on the 30th.
Yeah.
Or it's around about that time.
I think they're gonna talk about it on the 28th. I think they'll fully reveal it, and then it's gonna be like they're gonna fully reveal it on the 28th. And I think they're going to push it out to, I think, about the 5th of next month.
So they're going to... So I know we got I think we have the AMD chip conversation a little later on. So you think they're going to launch the card and the chip on the same day? Because they said November 5th is when they were launching Ryzen.
Oh, I think... Wait, no. It's not the 5th. I think it was... I'm trying to think. I know it was like close. I know it was like relatively close to the Ryzen, but I don't think it was going to be in the same day. Yeah, we'll get it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll give it to you again. I'm not one to delve into rumors on this show or at all because I like to just be right.
Right.
So yeah, rumors I don't cover. I know there's we're gonna talk about the PlayStation stuff. There's some things I've heard. And unfortunately, I was like, I got to talk about it a little bit, but I don't want to delve into it too much because, again, we do not have the facts for it yet. But yeah, just so you know, if you are looking to cop that RTX 3070, you may have to wait just a little bit longer to get it. They may be making more of them available. Also, I don't know how this is going to affect, like, are they working with the board partners to say, all right, like the MSIs, which we'll get into a little bit later. Actually, that's the next story. MSI, Asus, Acer, all this. Hey, all of you hold off so that way you can make more of them.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing I want to throw out there because I know that we've said this like 500 times. Y'all don't need it anyway. You don't need it anyway. Like y'all. Are you saying that you need it right now, right this second?
Sure. If I could easily swap my 1080 with a 3080, like in the middle of the stream, sure, why not?
Okay, you said you said a 1080. That's like 2 whole models of. You just did it like a level skip right there. I have like I think this is either a 2070 or 2080.
Oh yeah, you good.
Have one of those models, you don't.
Oh, you good.
You good. I'm worried about me. I'm talking about me.
Like
I need it.
I would get a 3070 if my checking in my savings would act right, but apparently it doesn't. So then I gotta wait till like maybe summer. So I'm like delay it however long you want. I ain't getting no parts until next year anyway. So it is what it is.
Yo,
Maybe it'd be a price drop.
Come see me when the 4070 come out.
Yeah, when the 4070 comes out.
See, when the 4070 comes out, I will think about it. I probably actually want to upgrade until it's like almost damn near 50s, and then I guess.
Yeah, see, I need that encoding power. That's what I want. Like, there's some gaming aspect to it too, but I just want that encoding power. I want the AI. I want the ray tracing. I'm missing out on so much ray tracing unless I like pick up the new Crisis and they've got software based ray tracing. I want the real shit.
It is my gaming needs too. Y'all, do you know what game I spend most of my time playing? A game that was made in 2001. What's a ray trace? That thing doesn't go over 30 FPS, okay? Like, I have to struggle there.
Yep.
You feeling validated streaming from your MacBook now? I still don't do that. No,
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Like, I got a brand new one. I'm still like, Like, even when
just because it's working now doesn't mean it's gonna stay that way always. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, you know I sent you that picture of my workstation setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when those two monitors are plugged in, boy, that fan. So, Nah, I'm okay. When the 4070 comes out, or if my PC combusts. Oh Lord, don't no. Oh no. We don't want computers blowing up now. It's a computer PC.
Look, y'all, let me tell you about a time that I got a MacBook Pro, and that thing was a tank. But the first thing that happened was the battery blew up, and they were just like, "Well."
Was it made by Samsung? Are we still on that? Are people?
I just heard like a little pop, like a little puffing sound, and I'm like,
"Oh."
Like a slightly inflated bag of popcorn, and I'm like, No.
And
they were just like, haha, do you have Apple Care? I just got this in the mail from Australia. No, I did not. And they were just like, well, I'm sorry about it.
Right to repair. What's that?
You hear the poof and the smoke comes out. So, oh no, the magic is escaping this MacBook.
Yep.
Boo this man.
Ooh.
Boo this man. The magic.
I forgot that's not an original joke. I heard that from somewhere else, and I still love it. Love it.
Whoever said it, boo.
I love that joke. See, when I'm back, I know what channel to tune into for looking for a streaming computer. Yes, please.
Yes,
we're here. That's what we do. We are all collectively Negrodamus. We can tell you. We can look into the future and tell you what's going to be good.
I was going to say, Major can contest to this. We were looking, earlier today, we were looking at gaming monitors. We were like, how much these joints cost? Hold up. Chill your average. Chill YouTube videos. We're going to look this up, and we're going to figure out what's going on. We're going to figure out how much these joints going to cost. Because there's no way in hell you going to pay $400 for it, and them joints going to tell you, hey, $275 to fix, plus shipping, plus tax.
No, wait. Plus, and this is our favorite thing because it's nebulous.
Yeah.
Parts and labor.
Plus labor. So you mean to tell me I'm paying $270 and I get $275 and you won't ship it back for free? What? Fuck out of here. I'm like, my wallet ran away. Exactly. I'm like, man, there was like the point where I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You just gonna have to take whatever money you was gonna get on that repair and just get you a new one.
Look, I made the mistakes, and man, look, our wallets live different lives.
Yeah,
I would have paid it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly speaking, we out here saying it never would have made it like our names are Marvin Sapp with these wallets. Like, I'm sitting here, right, looking at this, and I swore I astral projected for like a whole 2 seconds at that store because I'm just like, I barely got a job that would be good enough to let me pay for this without missing rent or food. How dare you?
How dare?
All the audacities.
The audacity. The avarice.
Oh my goodness. So yep, 3070. It's delayed to August 29th. Give you a little bit more time to get your money right. Close to payday for some people like me, but yeah, I'm holding out for 3080, which I'll never get. Speaking of cards that people will never get, An MSI subsidiary has been caught scalping RTX 3080s and 3090s on eBay. Reddit user noticed Starlit Partner trademark was registered to under MSI, which prompted observers to wonder whether the eBay seller was tied to the PC maker or a scam. On Twitter, MSI responded, confirmed Starlit Partners status as an individual seller subsidiary. So apparently,
I'm pulling them bad boys off the
selling
line.
one car, a 3090 for $2,399. This card retails for like $1,500.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My man was pulling them off the lines. He was like soon as they touched the box, he was like, no, don't wrap them up. Don't wrap them up in the shrink wrap yet. Let me just get like 4 of them real quick. Hold up. I got something.
Go outside, pick up a little dirt, just toss it on as DC. Used.
Mm-hmm. Used. Mm-hmm. Scratch the box a little bit with a key. Like, yep. That's damaged. That's clearly damaged. That is totally damaged. Scratched and dented. Yep. Scratched and dented. I'm gonna take these off the line and take these to my car. I mean disposal. You know, we're gonna take care of this. The nerve, the audacity, the avarice. Again, the avarice.
So MSI, they're saying that Starlit Partners has been instructed to contact the individual customers who purchase these graphic card products and offer 2 options. Return the product and receive a full refund or a partial refund of the amount paid over MSI's MSRP. But does that mean that if they offer the refund of the, if they offer the partial, are these people still getting the card?
I don't think so. Cause see, and then when you say about the refund, are we talking about the MSRP refund, or are we talking about the prices in which on the scalp?
See, that's the thing. Like, so it's a full refund. I think it's a full refund on the car as it was being sold. So, like, if it was that 3090, they'll be getting the full $2,400 refund, or they will get the card and then whatever they paid over that $1,500.
Because knowing how this whole thing is set up, you would take the best option that you would take is the partial. Because see, what ends up happening is, if you take the full refund and then you like, okay, yeah, I paid $2,000 for whatever reason, $2,000. You pay $2,000, you give the card back. Then what ends up happening is, now you got to try to find another 3090.
So
Where you
that's
gonna
what I'm
find
wondering.
that 3090 at?
So I'm wondering, it's like, all right, are they offering full refunds of cards they didn't ship? Because I'm wondering if some of these cards shipped. So they're saying that, hey, if you ship the card, these people have the card, but they paid $2,400, then you refund the amount that you overcharged them because they have the card now.
That would make the most sense.
Because like, I would take that. Like, if I have that card now, the fuck I'm giving it back.
I ain't giving that shit back.
You can give me that overcharge.
Yeah,
but I'm not giving you this card.
No.
So you just like, see what we not about to do once I have this card in my possession.
That's right. I done ran it. I done loved it. I done named it.
You can give me a full refund, but you still ain't getting this card.
No, you can give me the partial. I take the partial refund. Run me my coins back.
So that's what I'm wondering what it is. It's like if they're offering the partial because they're still going to give them, or they already received the card. The full refund is if they didn't receive the card at all and there was no intention of sending it. So, I don't know. I only have in my possession one MSI part, and it is my 1080.
I have an MSI 1060.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like, obviously I bought my 1080 back in 2017, so it ain't a part of all of this. But yeah, I might not go the MSI route. Maybe not. I mean, there's plenty of other cards, other board manufacturers. Yeah, like I like Acer, I like Asus. I had to have a reckoning with Kevin on his stream today Thomas like, you don't like Acer as a dude. You're just not paying enough for Acer.
I was what I said. I had to clarify. I said, no,
It's
you
cheap
right.
Acer. Cheap
Cheap ones.
Cheap Acer.
Cheap
No.
Acers.
You buy the good stuff like my gaming monitor here, that one I'm using currently. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, wait. No. He posted up with like a whole monitor arm with 2 monitors attached to it.
Oh, those are my Lenovo's.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by Lenovo. Every product from Lenovo, I stand by.
He talked me into a Lenovo one because I was like, I'm looking for a nice secondary monitor.
He just wanted you to know I'm not the same.
Right.
Look, I got Lenovo right here too, man. I stay with Lenovo.
Right. Because I was like, wait, there's a 21 and a half and $90. Soon as everything started lining up, bet.
So yep. Hopefully people have not been taken advantage of by this. I'm gonna call it a scam. It walks like a scam, talks like a scam, looks like a scam.
Right. I'm gonna add another rule to the Tech Talk Thursday commandments. Don't be buying scalp.
Yeah,
Right.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Because you're only incentivizing these people to continue to do it.
Right. Because if we did not see the shenanigans that happened in the early part of this pandemic, when everybody and their mama, their auntie, their Uncle Fred were basically just buying up all the Switches, buying up all the PS4s, buying up all the Xbox Ones because they was gonna scalp them and flip them, buying up all the webcams, buying up all the stuff because they knew people are gonna be home, people are gonna be bored, and people are gonna need something to do, and people are gonna need to work. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna buy all these stuff up and then flip it for more money. And I don't mind people reselling stuff for maybe like 10%, maybe like a little 10%, 15, 20% over MSRP. Try to get your coins. But when you're literally like saying like fuck it, $800 extra on the card, $200 like a $1,500 card for $2,000, $2,500. I mean that's a PC.
Yeah, it's like at what point is like at what point do you, like, all right, the scammer is bad. Right. But at what point do you sit to call the people who are falling for this like just idiots at the same time?
Yeah.
Come on, MSRP is this. If you are like, I get maybe spending $50 more because again, like if you look at a lot of the third-party manufacturers, they put a couple of extra things in, like more fans, lights, better overclocking, stuff like that. If you were paying like no more than $75 over MSRP,
right,
for a card,
yeah,
okay. But if you were paying $100, $200 more, okay, at a certain point, like, nah, you boo-boo the fool, you dumb as shit. What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
If you were going to eBay to buy your shit, what are you doing?
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Because that's just not gonna end well. Be prepared. That's what I'm saying. That's something I wanted to add to the commandments. Like,
I'm thinking about all of this, and all I can think about as y'all are talking about this one particular thing is when the Switch originally rolled out, and people were just like, "I would like to." No, you can't do that because someone done bought the bomb and scalped everybody. Hey, did you want to get that order for those PS5? Oh no, no, you got such a shame. All of those are also gone. And mind you, they released it opposite of a day, like ahead of a day that they said they were going to release it, just to at least make it fair to people.
Oh my god, that was so dumb.
Yeah, I think
that was weeks ago. I want to repeat this, not months, not a year. Like, in the last 3 weeks has this occurred.
Yeah, I mean, both pre-orders were bad. Both pre-order situations were bad. But PS5 went on a level.
Yeah, like Xboxes was okay. Like it was. Yeah, Xbox was okay. They were just unavailable. Like people snatched up all the pre-orders. With Sony, it was like, yeah, they're gonna go live tomorrow, except they're live now.
And it's just like whoever the community manager for Sony and the PlayStation, I know they were like literally like, well, we're not getting any sleep today. We're not getting any sleep. our mentions are gonna go. Our mentions are currently on fire. Where is the fire extinguisher? Our mentions are dead.
Where's the Oasis?
No,
Yeah,
Switch.
where's the Oasis?
Drop of water.
Mm-mm,
No,
not.
Switches are still available. I can buy Switch right now.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it won't deliver till like next month, like later this month. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, no, shit. I can get an Animal Crossing Switch will be here Sunday.
That's a better one.
So
I
hey, I
believe-
mean, it's a special edition. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. I'd prefer that one. If I could, I would. I can't.
Took you 2 months to find a decent webcam at a good price because people scalped them all. Yeah, like that's what bums me out. Like, I want to buy another Logitech Brio,
Like, listen, I had
but
to.
I can't find.
I
I need a
man, I have had
C920.
to do one of those things where they had like a little bundle price and was like, all right, cute. I'm just gonna go ahead and just buy all three of those things together.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that. No.
So thank you for that this Logitech C920 that almost every beginning streamer has.
Yes.
Yep. It's like, you want a webcam? Oh, so you want C920, huh? Mm-hmm. That's what you want. See this C920? That gets you started. This and a blue snowball mic? Yeah. You know the vibes.
I bought all this stuff piecemeal. It's like sure, back then before there was like a run up on this stuff, the pricing for all of that may have made sense, but it's like I bought the one thing beforehand. It's like I don't need two of them. Fine, I guess I'll pay full price for this other one because I don't need two. But then I actually started buying up webcams like water at one point. I actually had a surplus of C920s at one point, but then people needed them, so I just gave them away. I held on to them in case I want to do multicam streaming one day, which never came because, I'm the only one here who does any of this. So people are like, hey, I need a webcam. All right, here you go.
Kind of like me with these power line adapters. Oh, you want to know what's funny? The lady asked me what I was sending and was like, what is this? Because I would like to get into this because I have the same kind of issue at my house. And I'm like, this is what it's called. If you want to look that up on Amazon or whatever, feel free to go and pick that up.
Yeah. Again, that's the thing. And I know seeing you had brought this up, and we do need to implement this into the show. But having recommended tech, because there are a lot of things that people do not know about. That, I mean, again, there's no telling what's laying in my house that people could benefit from knowing.
Right.
Ask us questions because at the very least, things like, let's talk about the unique challenges of trying to actually be in front of a light and you wear glasses too.
Right.
I know. Actually, let me be shady for a second. The thing I know I need is like $600, but we're not going to spend that money. So y'all are just going to have to deal with these ring light reflections, okay? However,
get them frameless joint. I mean, those the ones without the glass in it.
No, okay.
You need glasses to see, brother. You need sight.
Context.
It takes 4 to 6 points of lighting to light people properly if they wear glasses.
Mm-hmm. That.
Because you have to get light over them so you can see their face, and then you have to get a bit of light under them to cover up or to remove the shadows that the rims of their glasses leave.
Mm-hmm. Because light forward is basically shines up at a mirror. You can't really see anybody's eye. You can't really see anybody's eyes this way. That's why you need to have lighting surrounding, but not indirect. Basically indirect, and then overhead. That way it makes it so you don't have when you when you take a flash photography and somebody who has glasses and it literally looks like you can't even see their pupils. You can't even see their eyes because you basically have shot light to a window and it's flashed back.
So what we're saying is we need to start a Patreon so we can actually afford better lighting for everybody. Because I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could turn on the funding for this show on Anchor. You can subscribe to the show on Anchor. I mean, for as little as $1.99, you can help support Tech Talk Thursdays.
That would be great.
For the price of the cup of coffee that you're not spending because you shouldn't be outside.
Right.
For the price of the K cup you drank this morning.
Oh, you can support us 3-4 times over at that one.
Let's not.
Also allowed because you didn't have your painting in your face one time. Okay, look. I had to give, so yes, I did have that, but I had to give that C922 to my wife because she is also working from home.
Right.
So I have 2 cameras now. I have this one, and I have my Brio, which I now moved into my office to where I can have like Google Meet and Zoom calls, because having a Mac look up your nose is not fun at all. Also, that FaceTime camera on a MacBook Pro is just horrible. Like, why can't they put an iPhone camera in there? Like, I don't mind a bigger hole for a better footage, but next up, speaking of Mac, this was not coordinated. I didn't realize this was coming up. The T2 security chip on Macs can be hacked to plant malware, and it cannot be patched.
Okay, so it's one thing if you have malware, but you mean to tell me they did something in a way that you couldn't patch it?
Wow, that's some.
Excuse me?
That's some.
I beg your pardon?
That's some like Mission Impossible type shit right there. That's like.
Why? For what reason?
So yeah, funny you mention Mission Impossible, because like they're saying that. So what it is they're injecting firmware, like they're overriding your firmware. That's why it can't be patched, because it's in the chip itself. It's not a software fix. This is all in the hardware. And that they're saying that majority of the people are not going to fall victim to this. It's more as like state-sponsored hacking, because people who really want to hack your shit.
Oh, see.
Also, they have to have physical access. So, like that cup of coffee you can't get because you aren't supposed to be outside. This is a virus that you can't get because you aren't supposed to be outside.
Okay.
So yeah. Again, I love articles like this because it's like, it's a whole clickbaity bullshit of like, oh no, it's the end of the world. Like, no, it's not. Like, just,
it's not.
If you have to go out with your Mac, don't leave it laying around. Also, what the fuck are you doing outside?
True. Why are you outside? And why are you out? Most of the people who are outside because they don't either have essential jobs, and typically they're not going to go out there with their MacBooks at these essential jobs. 2, you're they're
in IT.
Yeah, IT. Well, IT, of course, IT.
But IT. I work in an office and nobody has access to my office.
If you are a tech for the ISP, you should be in the house. Like,
right.
Okay.
I should be.
Not for nothing. I'm going to put a small plug-in right here. I literally have coffee mailed to my house at this moment.
Oh, I bought toilet paper. I bought toilet paper from my house. I never had to go out.
There's a whole black-owned, LGBT-owned company 2 hours south of me that will just mail me coffee to my house. I don't have a reason to go outside unless I have to go to the grocery store to get cat litter. Y'all need to be in the house. It's one of those, hey friends, so maybe we don't leave our computers in places. Maybe we don't connect to public networks that we don't know. Same way we don't open email from people that we haven't met or anything like that. Also, why the hell are you at the Starbucks right now? Go back to the house.
I literally have like 4 places I go since the pandemic. I go to Kroger. I go to the Walmart neighborhood market. I go to Wendy's. And I think that's about, and then maybe Ollie's. And that's about it. And I take my ass home. Like any place else that is like coincides outside of that, it's like very small and minute. Like Staples, whatever. Throw a Amazon return at them. Big Lots. Do you have those storage tubs? Basically like it's been like boiled down to my experiences have been like the 10 minutes, and even then, those are like the most stressful ass 10 minutes because I'm not scared to go out and get the things that I need, but I'm definitely gonna be wearing my mask. I wear my mask. I social distance. I got the hand wipes. As soon as I hit the car, I'm hitting them hand wipes real quick, and hand sanitizer. So I'm definitely getting prepared. But I'm not going to be like, I ain't going to be like at Walmart, at the big Walmart, perusing the aisles, looking at, wonder what they got going on in the game case today.
See, now you making me feel bad. Now you making me feel real bad.
No, I don't want you to
Because
feel bad. I
no,
don't want you
no,
to feel
because I'm gonna
bad.
tell you something. Normally, the only place I go are either my house or my job. I'm never going inside of anything.
Right.
So this past weekend, I went to go get my oil change, only to find out that apparently with newer Hyundais, it's like 7,500 miles or 12 months or some shit, which means I've taken my car to get it serviced for the third time and nothing has ever happened.
Oh shit.
So I figured, well, I had the weekend free. So I actually walked into a Best Buy for the first time.
How did that feel?
Weird.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the fact that because I moved since the last time I've been into a Best Buy.
Right.
So I'm in a whole new Best Buy. Like, I don't know where anything is.
Right. Oh. So you basically like.
So I was wandering around.
So you lost your home field advantage, and you haven't been there, and you are going to experience a new place in a time of pandemic. That's wild. I don't even know how to feel about that.
It was.
I would not know how to feel about that.
Now, I've been to this Best Buy, but it's always when I go pick up things. Like, they'll bring it to my car. This is the first time I actually got out and walked in.
And you were like...
It was weird. I found what I was looking for. Also, I had to keep myself from buying an Elgato Wave 3.
Well, of course.
But I found what I was looking for. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird. But yeah, if you don't have to be outside, I don't care if you're immunocompromised, if you are like the picture of health, or if you are a commander in chief, don't fucking go outside. And if you do, put a fucking mask on.
Keep it on. Mask on. Hand sanitizer. Keep that bad boy on. Don't be touching nobody. Don't be talking to nobody.
Bro. I can't. Cats in new houses. Oh man, that's exciting. I might have to introduce that segment, that new segment sooner or later. We probably did. I got some things to talk about, but
I suggested this to them, and see, here we are with a. You right though.
You right. You're right though.
You're right though.
Yeah. So again, Macs are compromised, but again, if you are not outside, then this doesn't affect you.
If you leave your house.
Yeah.
Right.
If you shouldn't be going anywhere that requires you to bring your laptop. Stay at the house.
Yeah, stay at the house.
Again, hold on. I'm trying to break this number down. Yeah. So again, this is number 4,927,538,427th reason not to leave your house. Thank you, Once a Clockwise Shop.
Yep. Big facts. Big facts.
Oh boy. In other Mac news, they're going to announce new iPhones next week.
Oh, that's
up. Do what?
They're announcing new iPhones next week. So this is our reminder.
I want to be shady here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
When they say they're introducing new iPhones, does that mean that they're going to have like different colors?
I hope so. The Pro lineup was horrible. The Pro lineup for colors was horrible.
On the phone. Few nice features. Incremental updates. New cut like what Sin says. New color scheme. Maybe an extra camera. Maybe a fourth camera just to make it even this time.
Go back to the old version of the headphone jack.
No, we don't need that. It's courage. Sin, that's courage.
Pixel got a headphone jack.
The 4A does, not the 5.
I mean, that's the Pixel that I'm getting. So that's
courage, gentlemen. Courage.
I'd rather be a coward with a headphone jack. For them few times I got to actually use one. I mean, I haven't used the headphone jack in like about in about a good part of a year since I got my Bluetooth headphones. But man, there was a time when that aux cable came in handy, and I was like, "Oh, I need to at least have the option. I don't need it, but I like to have the option."
Courage.
Cowardice. Survival.
I do want to say, now granted, probably should have said this earlier. It may have said this earlier. If you're in the market for a new phone, especially an iPhone, do not buy one now. Don't do it. Now,
Always
this is
wait.
the part where I wish not my wife, but my sister or my mother would call me, who did do that. My mom was so proud of me Monday. Was so proud of herself Monday. She comes, Marcus, I ordered a new iPhone 11 Pro. You did what? I ordered a new iPhone 11 Pro, just like yours, just like your sisters. Y'all did what? Like, what's wrong? I thought you'd be proud of me. They're announcing new iPhones next week.
That's like them. That's like them people who bought that 2080 Ti.
Don't do it. People are telling you don't do it. Just don't do it. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they're gonna put out there. Maybe some 5G. I don't know. All I know is like they're readjusting cameras. There have been rumors about what the bump is gonna look like, but I mainly include this to say, do not buy a new iPhone.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Also, almost as a rule, I promise you, every single iPhone I have ever gotten is like 3 models behind. Like, I would just wait and be like, "Oh, you don't need that iPhone anymore. Do you want to just go ahead and mail that to me real quick since you're to use that?"
That
very much.
That.
I have an iPhone 6 if you want it. I was gonna get the screen. So the iPhone 6 that I have, I was gonna get the screen repaired, and I was gonna use it as my drone controller. Then the pandemic hit, and I lost the drone. So now there's a cracked iPhone 6 behind me that's not being used.
Take a brother.
No, just go ahead and give me the current iPhone you have after you buy this new iPhone next week, because I know that you, of all people, are not going to miss a chance to upgrade that and tell us about it.
This one goes. This one goes back to Verizon if I do.
Yeah. You already know.
You should just tell them, "I'm sorry, I dropped it in the washing machine. I haven't been able to find it since."
Well, then I have to still pay for it. That's the problem. Yeah. So if I would give it back to them, I ain't got to pay for it no more.
The last iPhone I owned was the 4S, and I was like, that was way before and I think what really killed me was the fact that they weren't doing like the carrier, not surplus, but like supplemental something. Subsidized. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, you get like a $700 iPhone for like $200 $200.
Nah, Apple won all that money.
And they were like, no, well, actually, you could just do like the whole thing of the phone for 2 years. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. See, I don't mind, locking myself 2 years for a phone. I've done that a couple times. It's not really bad. I really care. But to then say, hey, you could pay us you could pay on top of your already expensive ass carrier bill to get a phone, to pay them to get an extra phone. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I basically went unlocked. I went to Straight Talk, and I just got me this cheap ass Android. Well, this ain't the Android that I had. It was another cheap ass Android. And so I used that, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and get this Pixel 4a, and I think I might be Team Pixel for a while, because I like the vibes on it. It's like Pixel kind of feels like if Google made their own iPhone, but they still couldn't. But in the way that Apple was making their iPhones, they just hadn't figured it out yet. It's still like, yeah, we're still working on it. Wait, no, we're still working on it. So I'm hoping that this might be the iPhone 4S where they finally actually get it, and then it'd be like, okay, yeah, we gotta sell an iPhone now.
Sorry, hold on for a second. Can I get an F in chat for Charles who just slid in to
Right?
let us?
Right?
They just slid in and said that you got that email. It's like my iPad over here, the one that's kind of like, no, you have all the updates you're ever gonna have. But oh my god, but it's like iOS 9. You got all the updates you're about to get. Move along.
That was my mom's iPad. That's where you have to upgrade. Where it's literally like, no, there are no more updates.
Yeah, my son's
But I
iPad
see
is like
iPhone
that.
12. There is no more updates. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
my son's iPad is stuck on iOS.
Yep.
It couldn't get iPad OS. It's like, nah, B, this is it for you, bro.
Yeah. So I said, Mama, I love you, but you finna get a new iPad, and I'm gonna have to go through the process of showing her how to work with a whole new iPad, with a whole new iOS, and a whole new iPad, and a possibly bigger iPad. Because the minis are more expensive somehow. The mini is more expensive than a regular iPad.
I do not understand that. I do not understand that.
How? So now I gotta...
Now the iPad Air, I see that. I can understand that.
Right.
And I still, damn, that iPad Air looks sexy.
And you would expect you expect the mini to be like at least $240.
Yeah.
I got the iPad that I have. I got specifically to be like, I want to do like one or two things, but mostly I just want to read. Mm-hmm. And then someone was like, after I got this, I was like, but wait, what if I want to get it to read? But then what if I want to do the occasional lecture thing, like, browse or check my email? Well, I might as well just get this. And it was kind of like, over the years that I've used it, I'm like, I really should have just gotten a Paperwhite Kindle and been done with it. Because seriously, the only thing I want to do on this thing is check like one aggregator app for like articles and read. That's literally it.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Wait. I'm sorry. I'm not ready. So you got the text on a phone that is not a smartphone. It said that in 2020. I'm just assuming people like everybody has a smartphone now. I shouldn't, but
Charles, Charles, what phone do you have?
He's at least not using the Razor. Can I introduce you? Can I introduce you in the Moto Razor that they have now? Because I kind of want that one. I kind of want that one.
Yeah, I kind of wanted it too for old.
The BlackBerry. Okay, that's a smartphone. Well, BlackBerry is a smartphone. Yeah, just because Apple changed. Just because Apple changed the game.
Right.
Just because Apple changed the game on smartphones does not mean that BlackBerry is not a smartphone. I'm sorry.
Mr. Johnson says I'm taking my F back.
A BlackBerry is a smartphone. I'm sorry. Mad respect to the OG. You know what I'm saying? Mad respect to the OG.
Mad respect to the OG, but I tell you. Whew, God almighty.
I always wanted my first smartphone was like the Windows mobile phones. Like I had the Moto Q, and I loved that thing.
The last BlackBerry I had was a Pearl, and it was like, that was right up. Okay, so I feel like for how long it was ago that I had that, and BlackBerry Messenger was just the only reason that you actually had a BlackBerry, if we're being real about it.
It was the blue bubbles of the day.
It might as well be like, if you go to your desktop and double click on Netscape Navigator.
Yo, can I still download Netscape Navigator?
And log into your GeoCities website.
Stop.
And then wait, and then you got to figure out, how do I do my GeoCities? Let me go ask Jeeves.
Oh no. Nope, I can't get Netscape Navigator.
But
it's a bummer.
That's a shame, because I would love that. Just to have it. It don't even have to work. I just have to have it. I just want to have it looking over and be like, yep.
Just have it installed. Just have the installer. That was high school
for me.
Just have the installer just sit there. Yeah, it's not gonna run, but I got it though.
I might as well just get me like a little like icon or something, like a little like Netscape icon,
change
and just have that right there. Change the just put it right there and just be like, I see you. Microsoft Edge is not Netscape Navigator. Man. I'm not gonna open it, but still.
I mean, Edge is not with Chrome anyway, so.
What you say?
Anyway, Apple iPhones are going to be announced next week, so check that out. For those who bought iPhones last year,
I will say this one real for quick, Charles. I'm probably the PC person here in the group. I don't know if everybody else is on an entirely Apple ecosystem. I know Major is, except for
Not me.
first off, because listen, the word Linux is in the name. It's kind of a big factor here.
Yeah.
yeah, we do.
But,
Wasn't this an issue last week?
I am like literally the most system agnostic person on this thing. I have like this iPhone, I have this iPad, I'm on a Windows PC talking to you. My work, like my job is like all appled out to death and all this other stuff. And you know, if I had more computers to experiment with, we would probably have Linux running all up in this house on some dish or other and being like, hey, Major, how do we do this?
I mean, you could just get a Raspberry Pi and we could solve that problem.
Put Ubuntu on that bad boy. That's all you need.
Ain't but $50.
$50.
Raspberry Pi.
In this economy, I'm trying to save that money for potions so I can make sure my vote gets counted.
I'm gonna be one of them people with my mask, early voting, early as I can.
I got my mail-ins in my office.
Cause I know this man. I know this man, and it's not the man we talking about. It's not that man. It's the other man, the man that really cheated. And I'm literally sitting back thinking to myself, like, God bless you. And I'm gonna sit there right there and tell you that this man that says he's the governor he will pull some shenanigans. So I'm just gonna be like, yo, we gonna go vote. Mm-hmm. Even if I got to vote by myself on foot, I'm going to vote with my mask on. I can't even put it past him on that respect right there. Can't even.
And see, Charles good though. He got 2070 Super. He good. Yeah.
Charles, you good. You good, fam. Yeah, you good, man.
So yeah, for those people who bought Apple products last year though, got that free Apple TV Plus. I am loving it. I love Apple TV Plus. Again, was it The Morning Show, For All Mankind? I'm watching Ted Lasso. Actually, I think that season's over now. But yeah, Ted Lasso, good shows on there. I think I had a story. I think I may have shared it on Twitter that service was supposed to be wrapping up. That free year was supposed to be wrapping up this month. Apple though, just the benevolence of Apple apparently. I don't know, or just because it's pandemic and you know who's buying shit right now, has extended their free trial to February 2021.
That's good to hear.
I'm also wondering if it may have something to do with the fact that iPhones are delayed and they may be giving another year of Apple Plus with the new phones. It may be like the Apple One service or whatever. But yeah, so they're extending the Apple Plus free trial to February 2021. So now I don't have to worry about it. Even though I don't think there are any. I'd be surprised if Apple puts out a new show between now and February 2021 that I want to watch.
Possible.
I mean, like I was surprised by Ted Lasso. I didn't know that was coming out, and like it was a great show. I love it. Was it Jason? Yes, Jason Sudeikis, who's playing a character that he played in like NBC sports commercials for British football. Yeah, apparently they made that into an entire show, and the shit's fucking hilarious. Good heartwarming story too. But yeah. So if you got that free Apple TV Plus, hey, enjoy a few more months on Apple. Moving on from Apple, we have our friends in San Francisco. Twitter is being accused of hypocrisy over Trump death wish ruling. For those who do not know, your commander-in-chief, President Donald J. Trump, somewhere between September 26th and October 2nd, contracted COVID-19. They won't tell us when he did it, but at least he announced it early Friday morning, when these gentlemen told me to go to bed and I refused to, decided I wanted to edit a podcast instead.
Yeah.
Early Friday morning, it was announced that Trump had contracted COVID-19. Naturally, people were, celebrating the news. And, some people may have gotten really into it and kind of, maybe wish death upon the president.
No, okay. So there was that, but about this Twitter thing, they got ratioed. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you all that spoiler. They got ratioed.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Twitter comms account because I was probably part of that ratio.
So yeah, like the Twitter comms account said that they will be. I'm sorry, I can just read it here. Tweets that wish or hope for death, serious bodily harm, or fatal disease against anyone are not allowed and will need to be removed. This does not automatically mean suspension. Now, as someone who's been on Twitter for over 11 years, I've seen some things.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just get a hands up in the room for anybody who knows a black person? Anybody who knows any women?
Do I even have to wait for the question to be finished?
Anybody who knows any LGBTQ people? If you don't, hi, I'm your first one. If you know any of these people that exist on the internet in general and on Twitter in particular, the fuck do you mean?
So yeah,
at the beginning of this pandemic, people literally said, "Hey, some deaths are acceptable." Like,
Yep.
Literally
sacrificing grandmas out here. Like,
let me know what I'm
gonna get. I mean, so that was pretty much the thing. But because this man in chief, that man that says he's in chief, caught a disease that's very preventable on his side. Now you got to think about this for a second, and think about this for a second. The man 45, which that's what I've been calling him, is basically the leader of the free world. He has a full, gifted staff to some degree, and then some and not degree, but he has a full staff of people. He has security. He has doctors at beck and call. The White House has its own medical facility where he can be checked, double checked, checked for his high blood pressure. He has a literal doctor to himself that nobody else has. And this man, the most protected man in the country, got COVID.
Well, you know something? I wanted to
let the
K-pop stands from months ago who bought all those tickets and didn't let people gather in Tulsa because all y'all could have had it too.
All y'all could have had it, and I'm glad for that. That was literally one of the greatest things that was one of the best things that I had seen in a long time, and it warmed the cockles of this old stony heart of mine, because it's like at least we know that K-pop stands will defend our civil liberties, the best way. Every time there's an All Lives Matter, every time White Lives Matter, it's literally like K-pop stands jump into the fray.
Is there a way we can vote for K-pop stands to get the Congressional Medal of Freedom?
I mean, that's definitely what I would do.
Can Joe Biden do that when he becomes president? The first thing he does is just invite BT, have a Zoom session with BTS.
No, here's what he does. He gives BTS the Congressional Medal of Freedom, every one of them, because what ends up happening, their fan base and fan bases of men like him, of pretty men like him, have literally drawn this massive Herculean support. It's literally seeing the end of Endgame, and it's you're in Awe-Spire. You're seeing Asgardians, Wakandans, whatever Doctor Strange's group is, the magic people, wizards, and everything popping off in the defense of one little planet, all the 9 realms in one accord on one power. And I'm assemble and let's just take off. Like, and I'm just like, yo, I love that. And I love everything about that. And I stand for that because it's like evil triumphs when good men do nothing. And trust me, K-pop stans have not been doing nothing. They have not been sitting idly by this. And so my fundamental point is, if this man who is protected could get COVID, your ass is fucked. Because if your country ass out here doing what the president did, skinning and grinning on people's face, taking selfies, hugging people with no mask, no social distancing, what gonna think about your country ass when you decide to take your ass to that Fleetwood Mac concert? Your ass is fucked. Don't stay your ass home, wear a mask, and stay your ass home.
Well, there's like a combination of things. So it's been a flippant disregard of these things currently, but for the record and for the chat and for why people felt very comfortable with saying the things that they said when they found out that this was a real possibility and there was any kind of confirmation of it, the person who caught this finally has been eroding all of the different agencies, people, and science that would have protected us from this nonsense and didn't take the precautions to do things like put people in lockdown because what are we going to do about the economy? What are we going to do about rent? What are we going to do about money? Like, y'all didn't give us free internet, free phone service, and free damn near everything else plus $1,200 in the middle of this pandemic, and probably could have decided to do so indefinitely instead of, I don't know, funneling it into your hotels, which you weren't supposed to do. Taking vacations, which I mean, it didn't have to do that many, or several other things that could have been done to protect people. And on that same note, in that same vein, for every single congressperson and senator, y'all, if you put on one more kente cloth, if you write down one more post about the Black Panther meal programs and don't do your job to fix these problems.
Well,
I just need you to vote. I just need you to vote on it. I already have ways and means to read up on these things. I know these things. We all know these things. We just need y'all asses to vote. That's all we need. We just need y'all to vote. I love the fact that y'all know.
We need y'all to take
y'all woke, but I need y'all to do better. That's all I need.
Also, I'm gonna say this. Y'all need to keep in mind, very firmly in mind, that whatever we do at this point related to election day is going to be like step 1 of 50.
That's the beginning part. It's like now we have to change the system so that the system is less like it's less that it can be tipped to everybody's favor. Make the law work. Make systems work. You know, not saying everybody's going to be less racist, but at least the racists won't be able to use the tools to subjugate people beyond more than just being racist. Like, oh, I don't want you in my store. Well, that's fine. Here's the law that says I need to be here. Now, that's what I'm saying. We have to utilize so that racist folk are not in institutions of power to be able to take their racist rhetoric and make it law.
Now, with that in mind, now that we have that part out of the way, because listen, like, literally ain't nothing new about anything that we're saying, right? But here's the thing. What burns my biscuits about them saying this was like not even just this. The man that they tweeted this about in particular made fun of disabled people on their platform.
He did.
Misogyny on the platform.
He did.
Being sexist. Talking openly about raping people. Literally on their platform. For years. Where was that enforcement? I have literally had people that I've seen harassed so badly that they don't even post on Twitter. Where is that? Where is the, hey, I have this person who's literally making multiple accounts to stalk me on like 5 different platforms, including this one, and we've had 140 people reported, and I already have receipts for at least 5 instances where someone was harassed and had to literally find a friend that they had who worked at Twitter to get things looked at and to get people banned for like breaking these violations and everything else. But you wanted to tell me, for the one person who is the most deserving of this, given what they have done on your platform, which breaks the terms of service several hundred times over, that you don't want us to say mean things about them. Where is this enforcement?
Yeah, I had some. Yeah, I had somebody like harass me. Oh,
I'm like poetically, I'm looking high and looking low over hill and dell, trying to find this enforcement of these rules, and y'all have not done any of it.
right. Like I literally was harassed for like I was harassed like for that whole day. You know, one guy felt away, start hitting me on my Facebook, but that Facebook is gone, and Twitter, and I think he stopped him on Instagram, but he hit me up on YouTube, so I basically handled him on moment. And he basically like telling me like, oh, don't come to Atlanta, I'm coming after you, we gonna handle you, we gonna shoot you, whatever. And I'm like, first,
you literally have people posting themselves talking about what they're going to do to people who say the wrong things to them with like a whole gun in the picture and everything.
Right. And I'm like, with their whole Instagram, like I say, in an individual who shall be remain nameless, who was talking about earlier, have his whole thing up there and his whole life story in his Twitter bio. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna report everything that I see on this, report him on all of it, and I'm reporting him on Twitter. It still took him 2 weeks for Twitter to get back to me and say that the account was handled.
Child, did you know that on the reporting form for Twitter, it will tell you just because someone says something that's offensive to you, we can't ban them for it, even though what you're saying is they literally said the hard R. Like,
right.
child,
Yeah. It's like literally like the worst. It was only the fact that he was like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you, that it got handled. I was like, well, yeah, that does break TOS, okay, but we're still gonna take 2 weeks to handle it. I'm like, huh? And I showed you the receipts.
And it only takes a few seconds for me to get shot and bleed out, right?
Right. So what am I supposed to do? Not go to Atlanta at this point? What? I got too many friends there.
So,
I got here.
your platforms everywhere, but Twitch in particular.
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to get that together. The nerve and the audacity that you have to tell people not to say something to a political figure, even though you're a privately owned company and not a political tool, because people are expressing emotions now when you haven't enforced your policies since inception for any marginalized group ever. Y'all can jump all the way into the furthest reaches of a wood chipper head first.
Mm-hmm. And then in some way still have a seat, because I'm like, I mean, you shredded, but you still need to sit your head down somewhere. That too. It was better in my head when I was thinking about it.
Honestly speaking, we need to start putting in these report comments. I'm a straight white male and I will not have this, and seeing how quickly that gets resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Karen. In conclusion, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck them for that take for sure. Like Twitter comms, that wasn't it.
Yeah,
that was
not the move. Not the move, Chief. Not the move.
That ain't it, Chief.
Mm-mm.
Literally.
I know earlier we were talking about, ways to make sure you're not vulnerable. Here's another one. Don't connect to public fucking Wi-Fi. And if you have to, like if you're in a hotel, use a VPN.
Mm-hmm.
Like this right here. FBI warns of hotel Wi-Fi security risk during pandemic.
First of all, why are you going to hotels during the pandemic?
So again, according to them, a lot of people do rent out hotels to kind of get like a quiet working space outside of their home. Not all of us are blessed to have one, if not two, working spaces. So I get that. That I get. Like I was wondering that too, but they did say, hey, some people get hotel rooms to kind of work out of them because it's quiet. They can't go into the office. So that's why I said, look, if you have to, use a VPN. They're not expensive. They may not be completely anonymous, but again, it's a lot better than hopping on just regular old hotel Wi-Fi and trying to log into your bank account. That's just dumb. Don't do that. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And for those who do not know what a
Not our,
VPN,
not our jobs, not our jobs. We're just out here. We're out here once again telling the people who are oppressed in most cases, okay, but do y'all? I understand that you have feelings about this subject, but like, why do you have to be so mean about it? And I need them to don't.
just don't, just.
Child, let me leave this alone.
If you do not know what a VPN is a virtual private network which essentially takes your traffic, sends it somewhere else, encrypts it, sends it somewhere else, and then comes out somewhere else. Just not where people are expecting it. Essentially, what you're doing is you're trying to avoid things like man-in-the-middle attacks, where people can be listening on public Wi-Fi networks and looking for sensitive data like passwords, credit card information, all that good stuff that you would like to keep to yourself. So yeah, this is a good recommendation if you have to get on any public Wi-Fi anywhere. But again, it's a pandemic. If you can't stay home, stay home. Use your home Wi-Fi. That's at least some level of protection, even though some people do request that that you do use a VPN. People out here, they crazy on the internet. But yeah. Did I skip one? I feel like I clicked that button twice. Okay, now. All right. And just this in today, AMD has announced their new Ryzen 5000 CPUs that will be available on November 5th. So again, just like the iPhone, if you're buying new computer parts, if you're looking for new CPUs and you are loving that Ryzen lineup, or just again, if you are building new computers anyway, do not buy a CPU right now. If you have a working machine, you're able to still play Call of Duty Warzone right now and it works just fine. Don't buy that 3950X. Don't do that right now.
Pump your brakes.
Hold on.
Okay, basically, they're giving you all of this stuff for retail therapy after however this election goes.
Warning. So yeah, November 5th, Ryzen 5000 CPUs will be available. Performance is looking pretty good, but of course we're gonna hold out on, I guess, a final judgment until like the benchmarks get run. So your Jay's 2 Cents, Linus Tech Tips, Digital Foundries, all of them, Gamers Nexus, Paul's Hardware,
Bitwit. Yeah, Hardware Unboxed, Digital Foundry.
Really wish we can get more black folk, but I ain't got the money for that, or I would do it.
Yeah, the few black folks we got, they doing phones and consumer electronics. They not doing benchmarks. That's the sad part, man.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Moving on to gaming, though. I guess that was an easy transition. AMD, gaming is whatever. I love storage. This broke my heart, though. Call of Duty Modern Warfare has gotten so big.
Yep.
It will not fit on a 250 gigabyte hard drive anymore.
Sure as hell won't.
And just so you're keeping score here, an Xbox Series S only has 500 gigabytes. So yeah, if you were hoping to play that that Modern Warfare on your Xbox Series S, I hope you got more storage coming somewhere sometime soon, or this is gonna be the only game you playing.
Big facts.
Now, Fortnite is relatively small compared to Call of Duty.
It is. It really is.
Like, actually, somebody, like, looking at this picture here, somebody has a hard drive that's just dedicated to Call of Duty.
See, that makes sense. That way, at least you can get maybe 500 gigs, and then just be like, this is the Call of Duty, I don't know, Witcher drive, and then that way, that bad boy gonna run smooth, quick, and fast. And then that way you don't have to like worry about any like you don't have to worry about anything getting in your way when it comes to your other games and apps. So I mean, is it the most efficient way? Totally not. Is it good enough for some? Yeah. Prepare yourself.
Again, this that whole issue we've been raising the past couple of
Mm-hmm.
weeks. Microsoft, come on, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Like,
This ain't good. This is
yeah,
not a good look.
yeah. I would have preferred to spend $400 on the S, and it just be a 1 terabyte and be a 1 terabyte S. Even though I know it's gonna have less teraflops, and less teraflops, not as powerful as the X.
See, now,
But
again, like that's where that diskless PS4 comes into play.
yeah, that's where it comes. That's where it definitely
Like,
comes in.
what it is like Xbox Series X top tier, PS5 digital mid tier, Xbox Series S. Why the fuck do we even make this?
That literally, That's literally the type of thing that comes out within the second year of a console generation of a new
Okay,
console
so
generation.
can we be real about that for a second?
Yes.
Okay.
You know why they did it. I feel like it's not being said, but I know we know why we know why they did it. They did it because somebody somewhere is like, not only did I get it first, but I got whatever the top of the line is. There are so many things related to gaming that they do simply so that someone can feel smugly more superior than everyone else, and that's the only reason it exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they know that they can just your need to just feel better than somebody for any reason is something they can literally charge you $600 for.
Mm-hmm.
Let us consider.
I mean, I feel good about
God. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and have this other chicken tender I have.
I'm gonna eat chicken tender on that.
What was that supposed to shame me? They don't.
Yep. Now, the thing that
is, I wasn't even thinking about you, and then you said, I mean, I bought one, and I'm like, oh.
Now, see, the thing that would make the most sense would be what PlayStation did with badass in this version, like basically badass with and badass without, like mounds, like almond joy and mounds, same candy, one just doesn't have almonds in it. So
and literally, the console's the same thing. One got a mount and one don't.
one got a mound, one don't. Yeah. So if they'd make like a disc
And one other absolutely doesn't either.
yeah, it's like so when I was literally sitting down there, I was trying everything I could to really fuck with the S. Like, I mean, the S works for me. Everything about the S, with the exception of the color and with the exception of the storage, works for me because I don't need 4K. I don't need 4K. Like, I'm a streamer. The most I'm gonna stream anyway is at 1080p at most. 1440p if I'm feeling frisky, But
And that's even if you can. I don't think you can yet.
Yeah, I don't think you can yet. So I don't think certain games support it. So I was thinking like if I can get like 1080p solid 60 on most games and it just be like a Game Pass box, I'd be fine with that. But but for it to be all digital, for it to be completely all digital with 512 storage and no disc to help it out with, it makes no sense. It makes no sense as far as a value. So then I would literally just be like, well, fine. I guess I have to get if I do have to get one, I have to get the X because it has the bigger hard drive, it has a disc, and it has a disc, and then I'm just gonna have to waste it on the 4K. So I'm just gonna be like, well, I could have 4K, but I don't need 4K.
I mean, but eventually you will, though.
I mean, at some point.
I think I feel like that's the thing you should look at.
Right.
Because think about if you bought the S and then obviously you get a 4K TV, and you realize, oh shit, my S can't do 4K. I'm missing all this 4K. At least at that point you have it. Like I bought my Apple TV 4K and I had a 1080p panel. Then I went on and
Right.
bought my 4K TV. Said, oh, okay, this is what I was missing. Glad I'm here. I had my Xbox One X with a 1080p. Then bought my 4K. And I said, oh shit, Forza Horizon 4 looks so much better this way.
Right. So I'm like, if it would make sense if I was like in a 4K mindset, in a 4K way, and in a 4K thing, sure. Whenever or if ever I decide to go with the 4K content, that's fine. I'd be like, boom, out of the box 4K. I'm good with that. But you know, as it stands now, it's just like the S is it, and then it's just like, well, damn, I don't want to be like, you know, totally down, you know, deleting games, but I definitely, you know, it's just like, man. So the thing that I would want is basically like either a more capacity S or a diskless X that's cheaper, or cheaper X that's diskless. Because I don't mind taking.
They should have did.
They should have did.
They should have did that, but
They
they
should have
didn't.
did that. They didn't do that.
Like I don't. Yeah. Again, like. Excuse me.
Yeah.
If the X was the only thing that was coming out,
Right.
that would have been great.
Right.
If Microsoft copied Sony
Mm-hmm.
with their SKUs,
Mm-hmm.
everything would have been great.
Right.
I think and even in too, if Sony didn't do what they did with
Right.
PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
the X and the S would have been great. It was.
Mm-hmm.
But when Sony said, all right, we've got the same console, one with the disc and one without, but they're identical otherwise. You just made the S like some dumb shit. And it's like,
Exactly. You basically hobbled it out of the corner.
yeah.
Because the fanboys ain't buying it. So the only people that's mostly gonna buy it are gonna be either broke boy gamers, kids, and people like me who don't want 4K. You know.
But
But-
then it's like that hobbles you in such a way.
Exactly. The storage itself hobbles me.
Yeah, like I've had this conversation with people when I made those tweets about a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
It's like I can get like this like well like the S is for people who just don't want 4K. I get that. That's
Right.
not my point. My point is the storage thing.
Mhm.
Like if you're forcing people to go all digital, why would you give them less storage?
Thank you.
That seems dumb as shit. Why would
Right.
you do that? I can care
Right.
less if they don't want 4K. Like that's smart. Whatever. Do you on
Because
that
random,
case?
because random spoons. That's why.
Yep.
Just-
Mm-hmm.
Because random spoons.
Rent them spoons. Give them the soup for free. Rent them the spoons.
I can't. I just. Anywho, if you were playing
yeah.
Modern Warfare on an Xbox Series S, Godspeed.
Good.
Just Godspeed.
Also, can we talk about that? Because was it last week? No, it wasn't last week. So let me just go ahead and hit y'all with a little recap. Week number 1, we were just like, you know, the way that this memory and storage and online access requirement is set up,
Mhm.
y'all aren't getting the deal that y'all thought y'all were going to get. And it's
that
going
was-
to
that
really
was last
mess
week.
up people at the lower ends of these bandwidth things. Nah. Next week,
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
God damn, that's right.
so the next week we were just like I was just kind of like someone on Twitter said the exact same thing we said last week.
That's
Like this is some mess up stuff, and we were just like, mm-hmm. And now this week they give you a game that already approaches the cap of what that thing even has. So you need the extra storage. It's not an option.
And
It's
that's
something you have to have, and it's like, but y'all did this on purpose, and you didn't have to.
And this is the last gen. This is the last gen. What Cold War gonna be like?
like it's only going to get worse.
It's
only
gonna get
fucking
worse.
worse.
If you literally are okay with, if you're okay with this, you're not ready. You're not ready for what Cold War gonna drop on you, huh?
We need to just change the name of the show. It's not going to be Tech Talk Thursdays anymore. It's just going to be Negrodamus.
Mm-hmm.
Tech Negrodamus. I don't know what to call it now.
I mean,
because-
seriously, we're just gonna
Take
have
the word
we're
about
gonna
it.
have 2 whole sections now. One for advice, and the other one being like, "Didn't we tell you?"
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
We told you. We told you. Reading of the Tech Commandments.
You've been feeling technology gaslit. Oh, please look. If you again, I need to figure out a way for people to submit questions to the show. I mean, we can come to Discord. I can create a channel, or we could do that.
Right.
We had it in the Nacho Friends server before, when that was still a thing. Like I can definitely set that up. Hey, if you got questions you want to ask on the show, we can answer them. I love answering questions. I do not want people to be led astray at all.
Clockwise, we got you. We got you, Clockwise.
Please.
Yeah, we got you. Cause I'm telling you right now, there be sometimes I'm literally looking like, why is no one talking about this? I'm literally like, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that's mentioning that this is not a good idea. Every time I see this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. It's like when I looked at Anthem, and I was playing the betas, and I literally was like, yeah, I don't like this. And people were like, well, chill, dude, it's a beta. And I'm like, dude, beta's done. Beta means done. Beta just means here's a vertical slice of what the game looks like. Now how do our servers work?
Yo, can I talk about since you mentioned that, I have a game thing I want to mention.
Okay.
But we will wait until we are done with this section to
Why
talk
does he
about
keep doing this?
Talk about I got another to be continued.
Yes. Listeners like, all right.
It's called creating atmosphere.
Man, this is starting to feel like the mid sequel.
The lights are to create atmosphere. This is just teasing too much.
This feels like the mid sequel, the mid season finale right here.
Oh my
like,
god!
really,
I'm recording an episode of Tech Scandal.
Well, I mean, the way that tech has been going this week, I mean,
Woo! I'm with. Where's Julia? Where's Olivia Pope right now? What?
it's handled.
Yeah.
Ooh, can I dress up in a white coat and just eat a big old bowl of popcorn? Of plain popcorn, looks like it's non-buttered, non-salted.
You sure can.
Ooh boy!
I say, listen.
Okay, I need to watch.
Major can be Olivia Pope. Sin could be Annalise Keating, and then your boy. And then your boy could be the handsome black dude from Designated Survivor. Hey, everybody wins. Hey.
There's a whole ABC lineup right now.
Yep. I kept it together. I kept it together.
Hold on. Let's see here. I got you, Jolly Y. It should give you a link. I don't know why it's not. Okay, so I thought I had the command set up, but apparently I don't.
The vibes.
Okay, there we go. It's in the social. So yeah, link to the Discord is in the chat now. If you would like to join, the Major's House Discord server. But yeah, Call of Duty. Good luck to those on Xbox Series X, S. You'll need it. So we got a big thing that came out early this week too. Shout out to CD Projekt Red. Cyberpunk 2077 has no goal. It is not going to be delayed any further. It will be out.
Yeah, it's gonna be
in
out
mid-November. It's done. They finished that game. However, before all of this, it was confirmed that they were going to be going through some levels of crunch.
Yep.
To get there.
Big crunch.
Now I don't know how we feel about the thread here, about all this going on here, because apparently there was some shade being thrown at everybody.
Yeah, shade was about.
Jason Schreier had essentially after the announcement went out. Jason Schreier of
Kotaku.
No, not Kotaku. He's at Forbes now. I think he's at Forbes.
Oh,
he left Kotaku. I think he's at Forbes. Had sent out a tweet rather sarcastically saying that, hey, glad that it's out, but I hope that the people who, crunch to get this out, get the rest that they need, which Paris Lilly of Gamertag Radio fame kind of felt some type of way about it. Like, it felt as look, let them celebrate. And while both of them kind of have valid arguments, I do want to mention that, hey, crunch is still a thing.
Yes.
I don't know I mean, granted, like the people who were participating in crunch, because again, not sure if it was voluntary. But you know, people were crunching to get the game out. It is out, and yes, they should celebrate the fact that they can finally stop working on this game, or at least at the capacity in which they were working on it. But at the same time, they were only crunching because of the fact that they were trying to meet a deadline, which easily could have been moved. Or I don't know. It's still the argument of, hey, unless you really, 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 really know when your game is going to come out, maybe not release a date.
Right.
I mean, you could have pulled the Last of Us route and said, hey, it's suspended, like it's delayed indefinitely until we really know, because hey, there is a pandemic and we all can't get into the office.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know, like I get what Paris is saying in regards to, hey, like your tweet was really sarcastic as shit. Let them celebrate. But like ultimately the issue, like I mean, Jason Schreier's right that they fucking crunched to get this game out just so people like Paris can play it. And that's not, like, ultimately that's not good. Just because, and like I forgot who it was who it's mentioned. I think it was I want to say it was Pleasantly Twisted, who said that, like, okay, just because you pointed out the issue doesn't mean that, okay, you pointed out, people saw it, and we just leave it alone.
Right.
Period.
It's still happening. Like, no, you want to keep talking about it till it stops, until they give you a reason not to talk about it.
Right. Keep fighting.
Okay,
Keep fighting until we don't have to fight about it no more. That's it.
Also, y'all see it when all my packages are showing up.
So we need to talk about that. Like, there's a list of things here, right? So let's use the platform upon which we are streaming this podcast to you at this moment in time.
Right.
As an example, I am on Twitch.
Yes.
Twitch could send me a hoodie tomorrow.
Yes.
They could send me a neon light to hang up behind me tomorrow. I will say thank you and still call you out on your bullshit when you do it.
Exactly.
It is what you do when you're on a platform or anything that you're connected to. If you care about it at all, when they do right or they try to do right, you acknowledge that. And when they're not doing right, you call that out. You, like, this isn't a bribe situation. You sending me stuff doesn't mean I am obligated not to call you out on your bullshit when you're out here doing fuckery. Like, that's not how that works.
That's right.
So for people to be here, it's like, well, I mean, here you are calling that out because y'all are both in the game industry as journalists and calling out things as they are happening and talking about them. You don't get to go back and say, but they sent you a chair. The fuck is this?
Exactly.
I wish I would say, I'm going to send you stuff and then you have to be nice to me. I would be like, I'm going to send it because I'm going to let you send it because you're a fool and keep it. And then I will wear it when I'm saying stuff about you.
Right, exactly.
I'm literally like, thank you. Thank you for sending me that chair. Also, go fuck yourself for making people crunch all that time.
No, I will literally wear this coat and say, so this coat got sent to me by a company that has developers working in crunch. Don't buy it.
Right. Exactly. Vote with what your wallet speaks.
Exactly, and that put me in this very weird place. I'm not sure if I mentioned it here, and I know I talked about it on this channel a few months ago. But speaking like with Extra Life, like I've had the issue with Extra Life where I'm sitting there fucking screaming like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, y'all got racists running through your social spaces. Like what the like I made so much noise about it, and then they put me in an article like, hey, here's a black streamers you should watch right now. Now granted, I was on a post with Urban Bohemian, DJ Knight, Cypher of Tear, I think I Am Brandon was on there. That's
all great people.
There's one more person that was on there, and I'm drawing a blank right now, and I apologize. But yeah, like all of them partner. I'm the only one non-partner. Like I'm just like the one person who's just in Extra Life. Also the one person who was making so much fucking noise.
Right.
And it's like, I'm sitting there like, I think I made a Twitter thread about it. I said, look, I can share this with you. But I don't want you to start thinking after I share it that, okay, I got placated. Like, I made enough stink, they wrote about me, and now I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I was like, no, fuck that. Like, that's not what this is.
Well, I mean,
I'm going to share this link. I'm going to show you that, yes, they included me in something about black streamers on the platform who's doing things for the extra life. But that does not mean that whatever I'm fighting for, whatever I'm shouting about, I'm going to stop.
Right. This
well, I mean, y'all can we just talk about this for a second? Why do you think I would stop doing something when the only reason why this recognition happens was because I was loud about it? Like the counterintuitive, the cognitive dissonance that it takes for you to arrive at this conclusion. I don't understand. I don't understand. You have whole people who their whole trial to partnership has been dragging the platform that they're on to do better, right? We're not talking about people who are just out here to just shit on things just to shit on things. We're talking about people who are just like, y'all need to get this together, and I'm going to drag you until you do.
Right.
Period. Right? Because the thing is, I don't get the luxury, I feel, of being on the platform and doing things just for me. When I'm out here being loud about stuff, let me explain to y'all the things that I get loud about on this platform, or that you see me being loud about on my Twitch and on my Twitter and stuff like that. Closed captioning. I don't think I need to explain this to y'all, but if you can see me right now on the camera, I'm wearing headphones. I can hear just fine. I'm not out here being loud for me, but I have to talk about LGBT issues. I'm not being loud just for me. When I talk about black issues, I'm also not being loud just for me. So why do you think that blocking me would keep me from talking about something that's still affecting hundreds, if not thousands of people right next to me and behind me? What do you mean?
Exactly. I was talking about this.
We don't get to a point. There's not an amount of swag. There's not a tax bracket or anything that makes us like not marginalized anymore. Like these issues, as long as you are still doing these things that are harmful to people, I am morally obligated to talk to you about them.
Right. And I just love the fact that people are taking time out of their day and letting people know on their platforms when shit is wrong. Like I was saying this last week, where I was literally like, you have to say something. You have to say something. You have to speak on these issues that are coming about, especially on Twitch, especially on Twitter, especially on things. Because if you don't, they'll just be like, oh well, see, you don't care, but or if you don't like it, you can leave. No, I ain't going nowhere. I want you to fix it.
Well, I mean, and that's the other thing too. Y'all. Father God. Y'all act like we have a place to go. Hey, where are we going? The racists are literally everywhere else. Right. The Nazis are still out there. The sexists are still out there. Like y'all still out here. Wherever else I decide to be today. And y'all just decided to be there. And I'm just like, I was trying to find a place not to go, but there you were being racist in places that we thought you weren't going to be today. So here we are.
And again, if it's not that, because believe me, I tried this. I tried starting up something separate, but then they don't come. Nobody comes over.
So we need to talk about.
I've had like a couple of people that are regulars in my channel come over.
Oh, you're not talking about it. You're not talking about that right now.
I have a couple of people who are regular, and I appreciate them for that. But yeah, it's like at that point, like even if like you get to a point where it's like, if you got a problem, leave, create your own. Well, fuck it, I did that. I literally did it.
Right. And
no, wait, hold on for a moment. So we got two layers of questions here.
Yes.
One, where are we supposed to go? Two, then y'all say, okay, build your own. Cool. Are y'all going to support that though? Where's that sub? Where's that Patreon?
Yep.
Where's that PayPal? Where's that credit card?
Had to go away because nobody was coming. It was a waste of my time.
Okay, you want to know what? As a matter of fact, you want to know what? Let's take money off the table. Take money off the table. Where are y'all talking about it? Where are these conversations happening? Where are the tweets? Where are the retweets? Where are y'all like sharing that whole thing and getting other people to come to the platform.
Mhm.
Like, y'all want so bad just to have something to say about someone needing to do something different, but don't want to build the structures
Mhm.
that get there, don't want to support the people building the structures to get there, and still want to throw shade and shame at the people who decide to stay because they have already,
And let me
created their communities and homes here.
let me tell you something. Like I had a conversation with a buddy of mine who's also a streamer, and I was like, when the whole pandemic happened, I feel like I had said something like, well, there's a lot of people, like, people should be taking time. As me as a person who's a bit of a businessman, I would like to consider myself to be, to be like, yo, hey, if you got something going on, you should definitely start your business, because you're gonna be home now. You're gonna be time to start up your own business. And my friend looked at me very calm, very gently, but very forcefully, saying, there are a lot of people. There are people out here that are not saying business savvy, but they're not here to set up businesses. Most likely, people just want to work and earn and make their way in jobs and positions that they work for. They want to take their talents that they've learned in school, that they've learned in their particular set of skills, like taking, and take that and manifest that into a job, and and work a job. Not everybody wants to run a business. Not everybody out here trying to be Manager CJ Walker. Everybody just want to live their life and use the products, and they want to talk about stuff on Instagram. They want to brand awareness on Twitter. People just want to use the platforms that they use in order to get in touch with people. Now, I use Twitch to talk to y'all. Well, really, I use Twitch for therapy. I stream for therapy, but it really ain't really about some folk. But it's really just me wanting to talk to somebody instead of these four walls that I live in. And it's so good to have other people in their four walls wanting to sit down and watch and listen and hang out with me too.
It creates a window.
And yeah, it's a window. I mean, it's a window.
It's a window. You create a window. You can just shout to each other through the internet. It's great.
Yeah, be like, hello. Shout everybody.
So
I can get Kev to spend all the money.
No.
Can we do? Do we want to talk about this for a second? Because on a real note about that, it was one of the things that I got the most mad about during the pandemic was people going like, okay, so right, we have a pandemic happening. We have people like their whole like sense of self in some cases, or the things that they saw the world as in terms of it being normal and all this other stuff were completely thrown for a loop. And the first thing people were just like, not, hey, this is a really good time because there's not a lot of risk involved. And if you have things that you're trying to learn or the skills you're trying to develop, this might be a good time to do them. That part, fine. The part that wasn't fine were the people who said this absolute fuckery of, if you're out here and you haven't developed a whole business in the month that you have been home, you're wasting your life. And it's like, within the first month of me being home from this pandemic, my grandmother passed. How the fuck dare you? It's just, y'all, there are just some things that you need to, whether it's in your social media platforms or in your brain, you need to leave it in drafts or just drag that straight into the recycling bin and never let it be seen.
Yeah, and I've been honest about that too, where I know I was big on saying, like, look, during this pandemic, for those who said they want to start streaming and get into it and do all this stuff, like, if they ain't doing it by now, then what are you doing? Like, you just want serious. Oh, I walked that the fuck back because I realized real quick. Y'all saw it because, again, this show disappeared for months. I disappeared off of Twitch for months.
Yes.
Because that shit got to me so bad. I was like, all right,
you had to take a step. Like, I feel you because there were some, let me just go ahead and put it like this. There were some circumstances, TM, that you were just like, I completely understood when you were just like, you know what, I need a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
I might need 5 minutes.
Right. And we were like totally like, dude, we got it. Take the time you need.
So yeah,
like,
yeah, so like because of that, like I walked back all that shit I was saying
all the way
like
back.
That big chest shit I was saying before. I was like, okay, you know what? Nah, this ain't like, it's not like there isn't a pandemic. No, there's a fucking pandemic. I was like, ain't nobody got time for shit like this if they are not ready for it. I was not ready for it. I thought I was, but fuck that bullshit.
You got
I learned from my mistakes.
Big facts.
There was one other thing though, and I think this is something that needs to be said just about business in general, because I work in a corporate space. I know Linux also works in a relatively corporate space. I think are you in ed?
Yeah.
Okay, and like Kevin, I think you understand this too. Just working with businesses and things, there are people that I have met, and they are just and they have the mind, the temperament for having to be that bullheaded person you have to be to start and maintain the energy to like found a business, find people, communicate vision, and drive people toward a goal.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
Right.
A lot of the people that I know that have said, I have really been thinking about starting my own company or doing my own thing, aren't people who have the temperament for that. They're people who are just tired of being treated shitty by the jobs that they work at. And they're just like, I don't see a way that I'm going to ever end up at a place where this isn't an issue. So I would rather try to make in my own space and hope that it works. And ultimately, they end up burning out and trying to found these things because they were never the person that was supposed to. They just didn't work in shitty places.
Right.
And
yeah.
And I feel for those people because they're just like, everybody needs to start their own business. Everybody doesn't need to. Businesses just need to not be shitty places to be if you have to be there.
Right.
But we don't want to address that. So you'd rather tell them, well, you make people having actual feelings some kind of moral failing for them. And no, go away. Just go ahead and tell us in public that you're completely fine with just being shitty to people for no good reason. And then go your way, whatever that is going to be for the day.
Right.
Like, go have a strawberry Faygo or something like that and leave me alone.
Right.
Not the
like,
Faygo.
Yeah, what I do is, like, I'm a photographer. So I take pictures. I'm a photographer. I do sound work. I work soundboards and whatnot. And that's something I do. I literally have no, like, when I started, I had zero anything close to business sense. And I barely have any, like, now. So I'm basically like freelance and independent contractor in type only. Like, hey, you need somebody to film your wedding. I'm not gonna look like a total rube behind the camera. That's what I'm saying. But if Sears Portrait Studio existed and Olin Mills, that would be the shit that I'd be doing. Like, I'd be literally like, all right, guys, big smiles, cheese.
Not Olin Mills. Oh my god.
Here's our portrait packages. We have this portrait package. We have this portrait package. Like, I would literally be doing that job because I am a hustler spirit, because that's what my dad was. My dad had a hustler spirit. My dad worked on his own, but he still had his main gig. He did pest control. He did forklifts. He drove forklifts. He sold insurance. I mean, he was literally a wine connoisseur at one point of his life.
Is your dad Julius from Everybody Hates Chris?
Pretty much. My dad's basically. You know what?
Man got two jobs.
My dad was literally what I would think to be like Julius. Like, he literally, like, almost to the point where, like, cut that off. We don't need that. Like, not to the point where it's like unplug that clock. You can't tell time if you sleeping. Like, not that. But it was definitely the level of very insistent about cutting them lights off. Like, cut them lights off. Okay. And my mom does that, and my mom does that too. So that's fun. That's always funny too. That's always fun. But it was like very much like the hard work. Like, my dad was gone when I woke up, and he was asleep when I came home, and that was that level of that beat a rock mentality right there. So that kind of spirit was always great. But I know a lot of dudes ain't got that. I know a lot of people ain't got that whole, like, man, I want to see my family. Like, I want to be like, I want to see what's going on. Like, my dad would be tired.
Look, as long as my family is, I love them to death. I would love to see them.
And the moments I love spending with my father was like those moments where he was like, he was awake, he was calm, he didn't have to go to work that day, and we just sat down and talked about, like, politics and stuff, and British comedies, and British dramas, and that's pretty much why I watch everything on BBC anyway now. So, but the point I want to make in my own little rambly way is people ain't built for this. You know, people don't. You know, there are some people who are built to be like Fortune 500 companies. There are people who just want to make Amazon sales, and then there's just people who just want to like make a little side money on the side in the midst of their jobs or in between jobs. But nobody's out here trying to say like, yo, you need to get a whole business, and you ain't got no business. You know, like why? Why do I need to have a whole business? Why do I need to create Black NBC when I could just be like, hey, let me put some good shows on NBC? You know,
we need all of those. We need all of those types of people to exist.
Yeah.
To be clear,
yes, we need all. We're not saying we don't want business people, but we want people from all walks of life to do all walks of things. Because some do, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, you know, we need that. And I'm like, I'm never saying like, hey man, we all need to be millionaires out here. I'm like, some people ain't got that. Some people don't.
I mean, the thing is that, and you know, I think that last part is a more important part. You know, this is probably, we are wildly off topic over here, but I mean, we out here, so whatever. Here's the thing. I you know, you said, you know, you grew up with this whole thing of you're supposed to get a car, you're supposed to get a house, you're supposed to like buy like 5 acres of land and all this other stuff. And you know something, I was just sitting here in my 20s and I finally landed myself the job that ended up becoming my whole career. And I was just sitting here looking at this whole thing and going, do I want that though? Like, does Sin want that? Or is this something that people are just like, this is what you should want and what you should have at this age? And it turns out, at the current stage of life that I'm in, I am perfectly fine with living in the condo that I am in and not having to be elsewhere. Like, I am one person who just wants to stream and occasionally play piano and play a lot of video games. And that's fine. Like, that is free to change or whatever, but there's a lot of things that people just, on a lot of levels, try to make you feel like this is what you should be or what you should do or what you should have. And it's one of those, you have to be you at the end of the day. When I was at work, one of the things they were just like, hey, Sin is really good at sales. And I'm just like, I am okay at sales and I also hate it. Do not put me in a sales job. That's not the role that I'm made for. I'm not made for that. Put me in a role where I'm supporting people and helping people and I'm educating people. I need to be doing that stuff. I don't like contracts. I don't like asking people for money. I don't like invoices. I don't like sending bills. Don't make me do any of that. And so they put me over there. They was like, he's kind of okay at this. They put me in a role doing support stuff and I'm just like flourishing. People are like literally sent me chocolate. They have sent me birthday cards. They sent me like t-shirts. They have sent people to the office. They sent like edible arrangements to my desk because it's kind of like he does relationship things and that's the thing that he enjoys. Let him do that. Like let people do the kind of work that they enjoy.
Right. Exactly. Like just let people enjoy things. You put like, you know,
Clockwise got me out here on my Toni Morrison feelings. I need them to not.
And also thank you, thank you, Clockwise. My dad was awesome. Yep.
But see, it goes back to last week. You kept saying I was a network engineer. I said no. I'm a network commissioner. I said no. I'm a system administrator. That's what it is. Not anything else. I may know a little bit about a network, but I'm a Linux system administrator, and that's where it is. That's where I'm happy. That's where Major Linux is happy.
Sam, I'm like,
fair.
If you tell Kev, swap out the power supplies of 50 computers, and I'm like, bet. I am the happiest that I'm ever doing repetitive tasks. I'm like a robot.
Ooh,
like give me repetitive tasks and like take this and move this over here take that and move it over there.
And just let me turn on a podcast. Oh my god, I hate that I only get 5 hours of battery life out of AirPods. Because as soon as those AirPods die, I got to put them back in the case. Well, I'm tight.
Like I'm literally like my most happy is when I'm just like when I know the thing that I'm doing is getting done and I'm getting paid for it.
Yes.
Oh, even so.
We're just
so
like a
nice.
sense of progress. Yes, God.
Yes, it's
Whew.
like when I was doing like stocking shelves, I loved it. When I used to work in like vegetables, when I used to work in the produce department, and I'm putting in the apples and I'm putting up the bananas, and then working at Food Line, they had the best soundtrack, so I'm literally sitting up there listening
Okay, yeah, it was
music,
kind of fire. It was kind of fire.
and I was like putting on the bananas, and then Gnarls Barkley come up. I remember when I lost my mind, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. So anyway, I'm killing it, and I'm doing what my job is, and that was the best part. Was like, don't talk to me.
Yes, just
Yes, leave me alone. Just let me work and leave me alone. Listen,
Speak on
okay,
it.
what did you tell me? What did you tell me? You told me? Good. All right, I'm finna go back to work now.
Speak
I
on
think you're
it.
crazy. Baby, you're crazy. Sweeping, mopping, like doing whatever I need to do. Leave me alone. I loved it.
Basically, okay, so let's talk about those kind of personalities. I am very much I enjoy doing things where I get people together to accomplish things.
Right.
That is my favorite thing to do.
Mhm.
My second favorite thing to do, however, are just like a single monotonous task, but with no interruptions. Like, don't talk. I'm the kind of person who will be like, here's $100. I need everybody to leave. I just want to clean the kitchen in peace. I just want to do laundry in peace. I just want to cut my grass in peace.
I just inhaled. That's that's what I'm talking about right there. And just
Look, can
leave me
I
alone.
get both of y'all just to record that? I'm gonna take snippets of this. I'm gonna just put them MP3s and just repeat. And when I'm starting feeling anxious, I'm just gonna listen to this all over again. It's like, mindless, repetitive tasks with no interruptions.
No radio.
So we're just gonna get like a sound clip of someone just like trimming grass with a lawnmower on repeat for like 2 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, this wasn't supposed to be an ASMR stream, but we're here.
Yes.
I love. I love them type of videos now. Y'all don't see me. Y'all know what I'm into.
All right, let's try to rein this back in. Just to bring it back to this, crunching is bad. And again, do not shoot the journalist for wanting to report on it. But journalists, hey, maybe don't be so snarky about it.
Don't be.
And the Super Lewis 64 again. Dope streamer does a lot of custom controllers with the games that he plays. To see that he went through that shit, like when he was a tester, definitely my heart goes out to him. Like his story of crunch is heartbreaking. And if you are not following Super Lewis 64, I recommend that you do so. That dude is amazing. All right, so now I've cut a few stories. Again, if you want to see the whole list, I'm going to have them in the show notes. If you want to see all the rest of the stuff that we dropped, there was PS4, PS5 comparison for NBA 2K21, Microsoft pledging to bring xCloud to PC and Xbox, and your updates for the week. Please update your shit.
Update your shit.
But the one thing I did want to mention, I wanted to make sure we did not miss, is the fact that Sony put out this video this week going through the entire teardown of a PS5.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Granted, it's all in Japanese, so there's actually audio to this, but if you have not seen this, it's on PlayStation's channel. There is a complete teardown of a PS5. And the one thing I did want to mention, it dawned on me after watching this, is that Microsoft was doing storage correctly the entire time, and I was willfully ignorant to it. What they show here, and I'm wondering if I can get to that part. I'm trying to see if I can. There, no, that's system memory. Where is it? I'm trying to see if I can find it. No, that's the liquid metal. Oh, there it is. So, according to them, their storage is built on the hardware.
Oh, that's disappointing.
See, you would think that. And that's where it dawned on me. Expanding storage as opposed to replacing it is the better option. Now, follow me here. If I had to, now, like when you replace the storage on a PS3 and a PS4, what would you have to do? You'd have to back up that data, switch out the hard drives, and then restore it. As opposed to what you've had to do with Microsoft, at least since the Xbox One, was buy an external hard drive. You got to keep your data already. You just bought supplemental storage. You don't have to back it up. You don't have to restore it. You save that time. Seeing this, it made me realize, and I was driving to another site and just thinking about it. Because Microsoft had it right the entire time.
The way I think about it is when you have a laptop and you have like expandable storage, like you have like the external hard drives, and you plug that bad boy in, and all your everything that you have to access your whatevers is on that external hard drive, and that's basically expanding your storage, but without having to replace it and then put Windows back on it and all the kind, yeah. So, to which I see your point, and your point makes sense, and then it's very expandable, and I dig that, but I'm always of the mindset of like, I want to expand it and expand it in a way that it still get the benefits of the quick fast speeds,
so
in a better possible way.
So like I thought about that with the Xbox One, and I can tell you for a fact, all my the games that I have installed on my external USB 3.0 hard drive, I can run that off of that hard drive with minimal performance hit.
The Xbox One games.
The Xbox One. Which means Xbox 360, OG Xbox, that'll all run on that external hard drive with negligible performance hit. On the PS4, on the PS5, and then Xbox Series X, if you have or in PS5 the NVMe drive, or Xbox Series X and S, the expansion card, you're doing the same thing. With at least the PS5 and Xbox Series games. Now, and again, they have explicitly said if you're running PS4 games, you can put that on an external hard drive and that'll run. You can put your Xbox One X, you can put your Xbox One and your Xbox 360, Xbox OG games on an external hard drive on the Xbox Series console, and those will run with negligible performance hits. Well, actually, no, that won't be negligible because again, it's not on the fast storage.
Right.
So I see your point with that. But if you're looking at historically, at least if you start at Xbox One and PS4, running those games off of external hard drives, you weren't seeing that much of performance hit, or at least none that would really care, unless like you just that person who timed all the loads. Like unless you were literally Digital Foundry, it didn't matter. And think about it too, with all these gamers who necessarily don't know how to open up consoles. Like getting to this NVMe port here, this NVMe slot, is the easiest thing on this console.
I mean, yeah.
And everybody would miss it. And also the way he opened it did not seem like something I'd be readily wanting to do. Like that thing just looks scary to open.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it dawned on me. I said, you know what? Microsoft technically had it right with how to expand the storage. They didn't have it right on the size of the storage,
Right.
or at least with the 360 they didn't.
Mm-mm.
And even then, 20 gigabytes of storage, like if you think about the launch PS3 had 20 or 60.
Yes.
So even then, like in 2020, 20 gigabytes don't sound like much, but in 2005, that was probably plenty because you're only saving games there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you was basically running everything on disk. So it was more like your saves were being recorded, and so everything, all of your game stuff would be running, unless you had digital, and then it would be like all the assets plus saves would be on there.
And see, that didn't come till later on, and at that point, I believe they had to been putting bigger hard drives in the Xbox 360 at that point.
Yeah, because I had like the 160 at one point.
So like at that point, like they knew, all right, people were going to install games on the system because they were selling digital games. Then we need bigger hard drives.
Right.
But at launch in 2005, 2006, yeah, 20 gigabytes was plenty. It shouldn't have been optional.
Right.
But it was plenty.
Right.
So yeah, like watching this, it made me change my tune on how Sony handles their storage. And it's like, finally, they copied Microsoft and they finally made the right decision.
Mm-hmm. So that makes makes sense.
Yeah, like it really took me sitting there and figuring that shit out.
I just like the 1 terabyte expansion drive option is okay, but it's just literally the price of it. It's just not.
But see, that's the thing. Like we covered it last week. The NVMe drives cost that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's not like you're overpaying for storage. That's how much that costs.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 terabyte NVMe drive right now, or PCI Gen 4 NVMe drive, costs about $200.
The stream is a giant crystal ball. Just be here.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah.
Yep. Well, I mean, again, come November, we'll say, told you so.
Right. Because I'm usually of the mindset of like consumer based, because you know me, I'm like it's not like I'm gonna be playing a lot. No, I'm gonna be playing a lot of Xbox games to where I'm gonna be running out of space. But as somebody who likes to think about this as like, yeah, that's a bit much for the average consumer. But it's like if you just said like, hey Kev, as a PC enthusiast, no problem. If I'm willing to spend that much on this particular thing, sure, but I have to take myself out of the mindset of a PC enthusiast because there's so many like affordable options that I could use and utilize to make it work better for me. So I have to, you know, mostly it's going to be like the handheld, like OG games, like a few 360s, like OG Red Dead, and the performance boost. That's pretty much what I'm getting in Xbox One X, because I want it to look nice, run nice, you know, maintain and have little extra bells and whistliness to it. But even then, that's still far and few between. And who knows what the console outlook is going to be going forward. But I can definitely tell you without a shadow of a doubt, you know, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, and I think you will all agree, consoles don't make money. Consoles do not make money.
It's kind of like
they make money, they don't make profit.
You know how you have certain food that you only have to eat other food?
Right.
It's like that.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. You really truly don't buy, you know, basically it's the software, not the hardware, that makes the money.
Absolutely.
And now it's like the software and the services are what make money. Because if you don't got no good games, like this thing is awesome. I'm looking at it. I'm probably pointing in the wrong direction. Yeah, this thing is I'm pointing in the right direction. So this thing is awesome, but yet, you know, this thing is awesome, but it's literally like, where the game's at? And if you can like, oh, that's great technology, great things, whatever. But it's like, where the game's at? Because this right here is sold at a loss.
Now the Switch may be bringing in money, but
Oh,
the
Switch is pure profit.
the PS5, the
This
Xbox
is
Series
pure
X.
profit right here.
No, like though they're not bringing in profit because of the fact that Sony and Microsoft have services to sell you.
Mm-hmm.
They have services to sell you.
Mm-hmm.
As long like Microsoft is at a point where they don't even care if you buy a Series X or a Series S.
Mm-hmm.
They just want you to subscribe to Game Pass.
Exactly.
That's where the money's coming from.
They just want you to have something to play Game Pass on.
Yeah.
To utilize Game Pass on. Whether it's PC, whether it's Xbox, as long as you're paying X amount of money. I pay like $5 for Game Pass. Probably gonna be like, I think it's going up to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've literally been like, I'm not buying that because that's on Game Pass. Like, I can check that game out because it's coming to Game Pass. Like whole games I would never have bought, I'm playing because it's on Game Pass.
Again,
So
all of Bethesda's about to come to Game Pass in a second. I'm sorry,
your boy,
ZeniMax.
Your
All
boy
of ZeniMax
might,
is coming.
you might look up and your boy might be playing Fallout 4. Who knows? Or EA Play's coming out. With Xbox, with PC Game Pass.
I'm getting
So
back
your boy
on
might-
Madden. I'm
So
getting
you-
back on Madden.
Back on Madden and Plants vs. Zombie Battle for Neighborville. Listen, I want to tell y'all something real quick. At some point, watch the launch trailer for Plants vs. Zombies Battle vs. Neighborville. I was not prepared for how that trailer was going, the song in that trailer was going to slap. I was not prepared. You mean a song? You mean a game about plants v zombies got a track that slaps? I'm literally like, this slaps, huh? So yeah, at some point I'm gonna post it in the chat in the group DMs, and at some point check that out, because man, I was not prepared for that slap. But anyway, generalization. But yeah, so I guess in short, this is awesome. I'm glad that PlayStation 5 is doing what they're doing. I'm not gonna buy one anytime soon. And
I want this one. I just want the parts. I just want them to ship me the parts.
you just want the parts?
Yeah, ship me the parts. Let me see if I can reassemble it.
Let me see if I can build it back together.
Yeah.
Be like them Hugh Jeffrey videos I watch. Be like, send me a broken ass iPhone and then see if I can fix it.
Yo, that Surface video from earlier though, that was actually pretty dope.
Right, I gotta show you the one where my man fixed an iPad an iPad Pro after.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah, you were telling me about that. I got check that out.
Yeah, that thing was like a whole U after he finished it before he started.
But yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The PS5 is here. Not only is the storage built in, they got Wi-Fi 6, USB 3, all that stuff. Still not sure who's got the better console. I mean, I still say the Xbox Series X is top tier.
Same.
PS5 discless is mid tier, and Xbox Series S. Why?
Yeah.
Microsoft
like,
will hurt you.
Yeah. Microsoft do better.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. That's been another episode of Tech Talk Thursday. Again, there were more articles that we had to cut out. Again, update your shit. I think there's an NVIDIA update. There's a Mac OS update. Before we go, soundtrack by Twitch. Don't do it.
Oh, don't do it?
It's in beta, so it is a little buggy, but you
What
cannot...
game?
Huh?
What are we talking about here?
Soundtrack by Twitch.
He had him. He went out and did some field testing after our stream last week.
I did. I did it Monday. I used it Monday. It crashed a couple of times where it just stopped playing music. It had difficulty figuring out if my OBS was still running. And when I did get it to work and YouTube was able to hear the music, it content ID'd those songs. So they are not YouTube safe. They are stream safe. They are not VOD safe. They did say that, but I really, 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 really wanted to know. Because they seem really adamant about taking the music out of the VODs. So,
That's why you use Pretzel.
yep. So again, recommend things like Pretzel. There are other services that do provide, like, yeah, I'm gonna say his name is Helen Keller, but that's definitely not his name.
Oh shit.
Some Keller. It's like Max Keller or something. I don't know. No, Max Keller.
I think,
That's an ESPN dude, right? I don't know.
yeah,
Anywho,
yeah, that guy. Yeah.
yeah, there's a dude
And
who's made he's made stream safe music. I think T-Pain put out some.
yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh. But don't make VODs at it. Don't post his VODs on with the songs because he
Yeah.
will come after.
I mean, it's not like I content strikes, but like if I could monetize my videos, I can't now. So
YouTube library generally is great. That's also good.
I think I used YouTube library for an HP Instant Ink video I did last week.
Yeah, and anything from like NCS, which is no
copyright sound.
No copyright sounds. That is a really good channel if you're looking for good music. Spotify has a royalty-free channel, so if you want to use Spotify, you can do. If you want to use Spotify and you got Spotify Premium, so that way you don't get busted with the ads. You can do that. You can use Monster Cat. If you don't mind paying,
if you don't mind paying.
If you don't mind paying,
that's where because like they listed Monster Cat in studio and soundtrack as a partner, but okay,
right? Yeah, but yeah, if you don't mind paying, I mean, if you got it, go for it. But really, I would be better off if you already have Spotify Premium. You might as well just use the Spotify playlist for no songs, and you're better off that way. And of course, YouTube, just pulling them off YouTube.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, if you want to like have music in the background, but eventually pull those clips for editing into a larger video and having music that you edit over it, it could be good for those things.
Yep.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Not gonna lead you wrong. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Eventually, I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it into the show notes for next week that we bring in some tech.
Okay.
Because again, I would like to talk about my Roomba that I bought last week.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like staring at a robot for several hours just vacuuming a floor.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
I might show this off.
I'm really curious as to what that is. It's really small to me over here.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite charging brick because it does one thing that charging bricks don't do. See this right here is the it's a charging brick. Oh, it's a charging brick. But then when you do this, plug that into your wall, this charges your brick. If you don't want to use a cable, you just plug this into it, and then if you plug in your cables, it becomes a little charge brick.
So it's a battery or a wall charger.
Mm-hmm. It's a battery or wall charger. Because sometimes you just be like, yeah, I want to charge this, but there's no USB to charge this with. Oh wait, there's an outlet. Boop. Plug it right in that outlet. It charges it. It charges the battery like this. Once you plug in your USB on top of that, it stops being a charger. It stops being a battery and becomes a little charging brick.
Nice.
I tell you right now, this saved my cruise vacation. The last time I cruised, this right here saved my cruise.
I'm pretty sure the last that saving your cruise probably has saved it for the rest of your life now because ain't nobody going to be on a cruise after this.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we are not cruising until a proper vaccine and Trump is not in office for this shit to happen ever again, and a proper, well-tested, well-regulated vaccine has come up because I'm not finna put the health of me and my mama, my 70-year-old mama,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yep, that's gonna do it for us this week, gentlemen. What y'all got going on this week?
I'm gonna let Sin. You owe us some words, Sin. You tell us about the midsummer sequel season finale that you had planned up.
So we need to talk about early access games because, as we may be aware, for those of you who are into tabletop or tabletop adjacent games, the early access for Baldur's Gate rolled out this week.
Ah, yes.
Now there's some discourse surrounding that, but we're not going to get into that because that is just a hot mess and we do not have time. But this is an early access game. There are some things that people are working on, feedback that people are providing, but I'm just going to say this again. Early access game. If I see any of y'all on this Twitter talking about, I can't believe that this game did this and this, y'all gonna learn. Early access means early access. Provide feedback that the developers could use and don't be out here being loud and nonsensical in these streets and wrong about early access things. That's not how this stuff works.
Also, aren't they asking for a 3080? Weren't they the same developers who were asking for a 3080 today?
Oh no! If they were, I would be cracking up right now.
Who was the developer? Do you know if
who said that? So who did this?
It's like,
wait, who did this?
Who's the developer? Was it Lariat or I forget? Hold on.
It might be Lariat.
Yeah,
but I mean,
names on
now
that
being said, if you're not here, if I will go ahead and give you the suggestion that if Baldur's Gate isn't a thing that you have followed since the beginning and love with all your heart, you can just go ahead and skip this whole part until it's out of early access, right? Until it's like a full-fledged, solid, up and running game. Because getting into that early access, and we can probably pick up on where we're going to leave this here, and then we can pick up on this next week. That early access version of the game is still like $60. So unless you love the series of Baldur's Gate, don't do it.
Or I don't know.
Do not.
So it is Larian. It is Larian Studios who is asking for a 3080. Maybe if you give them one, they'll give you access.
Wow, that's wild. The wildness.
I saw that whole thing. I saw that and I'm like, ooh. Now you're not getting $60 for be on early access unless it's like a game I've been following for like 10 years. And I'm not about to be set up out here like people were for Kingdom Hearts 3. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Wow.
You're not going to give
isn't this coming out on Stadia? Why does Stadia not, why is Google not giving them like super duper hardware if they need a 3080? Anywho. Kev, what you got going on this week?
Okay, so let me tell you. See, there is one. My awesome moderator, Brittany, brought this to my attention yesterday. Yesterday was the start of the Steam Game Festival, the Autumn Edition. Okay. So what's going on? What's been going on in the last couple of months because of COVID? A lot of indie developers are not able to showcase a lot of their games at events. So what ends up happening is there are a lot of people who have to do in person, not in person, but digital only events now. And so what happens is Steam is partnering with some of these indie developers and have allowed them, basically they're posting their demos to their games onto Steam. And so Steam just got a lot of really awesome demos from some really awesome indie games. And so she's been doing a coverage of it, which kind of forced me to not, and by forced I mean very much encouraged me, lightly, indirectly encouraged me to make demo videos. So in the next couple of days and possibly weeks, maybe days after the event, I'm going to be covering some indie games. I just uploaded my first episode of an indie game, this really cute game called Lemon Cake, and it's like Diner Dash but even more cuter in a way. So it's been fun, and I got videos. I basically got a whole bunch of demos installed on my computer I was in high school in like 1999. Like,
Just a whole bunch of
I mean, I got this.
shareware.
I mean, I got all the demos, man. I got like this demo, that demo, that demo. Like, just because when I was a broke high schooler and I couldn't afford PC games, but I wanted to play PC games. So yeah, y'all know the vibes. And
Just play the Silent Cartographer over and over and over again.
oh no, again,
That one multiplayer map, Blood Gulch.
yeah,
Halo on PC.
Yeah, like like Mist and like Journeyman Project, and so I literally like have like a bunch of like really great indie dev demos. And if you guys want to check it, if you want to check out some of the demos, or if you want to like stream, you can check them out on Steam because they're gonna be doing it until the 13th, and all the demos are still gonna be there, but they're just showcasing the demos, and then you can see like live broadcasts of demos. And I just got a demo. I think Sin might like a demo of Monster Prom 2 Monster Camp. So that's out, and I'm gonna be doing a video of that at some point. So if Sin wants to go check that out, because I know Sin be playing a lot of Monster Prom. So if Sin wants to check that out,
I mean, you mean as in I didn't already? Question mark.
Ooh.
It's not as it. No. Seriously, is it? Wait, did I miss something by the people who made Monster Prom? Because I know Monster Camp is the thing.
yeah, I didn't know if you missed it or not, but I wanted to let you know. Like, I got out there. So I'm
Just something I appreciate the fact that you took the time to remind me. You were trying to look out for me, and I see you, and I appreciate that.
Appreciate it. So yeah, if you want to check out those really good demos, because there's been like some really good demos and some okay demos and some games where I'm like, this is fun and all, but this is kind of boring, but I still like it anyway, so I'm still gonna talk about it. And it's just like a really, and like, oh Lord, my money, like like some are just like my pockets, like I'm trying to save up for computer parts and y'all making it hard for me. Add to my wish list, add to my wish list, add to my wish list, key mailer, add to my wish list. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's on Steam. Just check it out and just download all the trailers. Just download anything that looks good. And that's it for me.
Cool. For me, nothing really special coming up. I know Saturday I'll be over at xLife's Twitch channel playing some more Overwatch on the PC. Of course, if you'd like to join me there, discord.gg/extralife, the number 4 kids. If you can go sign up and join me on some Overwatch. Of course, you can catch me live over there on the channel, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/extralife, the number 4 kids. Personally, I still don't know who here at Nintendo, but I guess they got some help because, man, Super Mario Galaxy is way better. Just leaps and bounds better than Super Mario Sunshine, and I am loving the shit out of that game.
I'm super glad. As somebody who's loved the Galaxy, I'm super glad you said that.
It is a great game. Super Mario Galaxy is a great game.
That was one of my games I bought. One of the first Wii games I bought. First Nintendo game I ever bought in a long time. Day one, like when it came out, I was like, "Yo, day one, give it." I'll pay that $50, whatever, and I never do that shit. It's so good.
I'll probably be playing more of that. Eventually, off of Kev's request, I will play some Genshin Impact. I was thinking I might do it tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna spend that day probably trying to crunch the rest of this work on campus so that way I don't have to show up on campus for a while. Yeah. But I know that's not true because yesterday I was sitting there, oh yeah, there are more computer parts coming. When will it be here? We don't know, but it sure shit won't be here Friday. So, yeah. Will you play Among Us with everyone tomorrow? Again, that depends on whether or not I can get back home to play. Unless you're playing in Seattle time, in which, no. If I'm still on campus at 11 o'clock Eastern, I need to reevaluate some things in my life. Yeah. If I'm still on campus at 11 o'clock Eastern on a Friday, I need to reevaluate some life decisions.
if you're on campus on a Friday, you need to evaluate some life decisions.
Look, don't tell me things I already know.
Child, okay, I'll just go ahead and walk over here then. I'm good. Don't let me know when the podcast is over. I'll come back later.
I'm just gonna be on that side of the room.
I'm just gonna be over here out of harm's way.
Like, oh, let me look at this point. Let me look at this ficus. Hold on.
On that note, yo, thank y'all so much for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays. Kev said thank you so much for joining me this evening. Again, you can catch us each and every Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time here at twitch.tv/Major Linux. Of course, if you would like to listen to the offline version, anchor.fm/tech-talk-thursdays. Or you can hit us up, youtube.com/Major Linux, where there's a special playlist for these shows on video. Again, thank you all so much. Of course, you guys could have been anywhere in the world, watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech news yourself, but no, you wanted us to tear it down for you into easy, bite-sized morsels.
Warn you about the future, because we literally out here doing it for you every week.
We see that shit. We see it.
We see it. The three Negro Damas right here for you. Tech Talk Thursdays. Thank you all so much. And of course, all I've got left to say to you wonderful people out there is I love you. Peace out.
Wakanda forever. You bump it.